It is important to recognize that certain common habits may inadvertently accelerate the aging process. Many behaviors that were once deemed beneficial for productivity or security can, over time, negatively impact our health, clarity, and independence as we grow older. Unfortunately, these issues often go unaddressed until we experience the consequences, such as stiffness, fatigue, and missed appointments, which can lead to feelings of frustration or embarrassment. In this video, we will examine 6 unexpected practices that should be reconsidered after the age of 70. This is not merely advice. Rather, relinquishing these habits can pave the way for a more vibrant, capable, and fulfilling life. These recommendations are grounded in practicality and are achievable. These are behaviors that many individuals in the older demographic may adopt unconsciously, and addressing them now could significantly aid in restoring a sense of self. Remain attentive until the conclusion, as you will not only identify several of these aspects in your own life but also gain straightforward methods to make positive changes. Begin today. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and activate notifications to ensure you don't overlook any upcoming videos. Your support is essential for us to keep producing valuable content that informs and inspires you. Let's delve into it. The primary focus should be on steering clear of strength-based movements. One of the most significant errors individuals often commit after reaching the age of 70 is the belief that it is wiser to reduce their activity levels and engage in less. This notion may seem logical. Your joints may experience increased discomfort compared to before, and your sense of balance might not feel as steady. The idea of lifting anything beyond a grocery bag could seem daunting. Many older individuals cease engaging their muscles, believing that rest will safeguard them. However, steering clear of strength-based activities is one of the quickest paths to losing independence, mobility, and the capacity to lead life as you wish. Muscle not only maintains strength but also supports overall vitality. After the age of 70, muscle loss, referred to as sarcopenia, tends to progress more rapidly unless we take proactive steps to preserve it. This is not solely focused on lifting substantial weights at the gym or following a bodybuilder's regimen. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining engagement in the muscles you already possess. Even minimal resistance, such as bodyweight exercises, light dumbbells, or resistance bands, can lead to significant improvements. Consistency and intention are crucial. Each step you take, every time you rise without help, and whenever you lift a bag or reach for an item on a shelf, your muscles enable you to accomplish these tasks. Allow me to share the story of George, an 82-year-old gentleman who had previously shied away from physical activity following a minor fall a few years back. His fear of injury led him to remain sedentary, favoring the comfort of his recliner and adhering to short walks and familiar routines. However, after consulting with a physical therapist, he discovered that remaining inactive was causing more harm than engaging in movement. He began with 5-minute strength routines. There's nothing elaborate about the process. It involves simply standing from a chair without assistance, lifting soup cans, and practicing balance by standing on one leg near the kitchen counter. Within 2 months, there was a noticeable improvement in leg steadiness and a resurgence of confidence. Engaging the body with intention brings about a profound change. It transcends mere mobility, it embodies dignity. It's the assurance of being able to rise from bed without trepidation, navigate the store without reliance on a cart, or get down to the floor to interact with a grandchild, knowing you can rise again. Strength provides that assurance, and it doesn't require hours of dedication. Just a few simple, repeated movements can start to restore what time has diminished. The reason this topic often goes unspoken is that the loss of strength occurs subtly. It doesn't cause immediate pain, but its effects are felt in the small, everyday moments. Experiencing increased fatigue while navigating stairs or requiring support to rise can be concerning. The earlier you recognize these changes, the sooner you can take action to improve your situation. It's never too late to make a difference, and you don't require elaborate tools, just a commitment to prioritize your strength over complacency. Additionally, consider adjusting your diet to reflect a more suitable approach for your current stage of life. One common challenge faced by individuals after the age of 70 is the tendency to maintain the same eating habits they have always followed, including portion sizes, timing, and comfort foods. While these routines may feel familiar and convenient and may have served well in the past, the body undergoes significant changes over time. Metabolism slows, digestion may become less efficient, and nutritional requirements evolve. Unfortunately, many continue to eat out of habit rather than genuine hunger, which can lead to unintended weight gain, sluggishness, and potential blood sugar issues that can develop gradually. It is essential to recognize that after 70, every bite carries greater significance. The body requires less food than it once did, yet it still needs proper nourishment. It is essential to incorporate more appropriate food choices that are nutrient-dense, easily digestible, and tailored to enhance your bone health, cognitive function, and energy levels. This implies reducing the intake of large portions of heavy meals. Proteins opt for starchy carbohydrates or processed snacks and focus on consuming smaller, balanced meals that include fiber-rich vegetables and lean proteins. Nutritious fats and hydrating fruits. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about nourishing your body in a manner that aligns with its current needs rather than how it functioned in the past. 30 years ago, let me share a story about Helen. At 75, she had always maintained a routine of 3 hearty meals a day, just as she had throughout her life. However, she began to notice some changes. After dinner, she felt bloated, her energy levels dipped in the afternoon, and her pants no longer fit as they once did. Rather than reprimanding her, her healthcare provider suggested a different approach, trying slightly smaller portions, incorporating more vegetables, and being mindful of her fullness cues. Within a month, she not only felt lighter but also experienced a newfound clarity. Her sleep has shown improvement, and she reported an unexpected uplift in her mood. This isn't merely a matter of dieting, it's about making adjustments, much like how one wouldn't continue to wear the same shoes from their 30s. Your body does not derive the same advantages from consistent eating habits over time. With age comes a deeper understanding, including insights about nutrition. Consuming less is not synonymous with deprivation. Rather, it focuses on efficiency, providing your body with essential nutrients while eliminating unnecessary extras that may hinder its performance. When your meals are thoughtfully balanced, your body begins to react positively, resulting in increased energy, enhanced cognitive function, and improved emotional stability. Additionally, it is important to acknowledge that establishing new dietary guidelines during this phase of life is perfectly acceptable. In fact, it reflects a commitment to self-care. You're not relinquishing the pleasures of food, rather, you are cultivating a healthier relationship with it. You are becoming attuned to what truly fulfills you, what sustains your daily activities, and what enhances your overall well-being. Such awareness is not only beneficial, it also liberates the mind. If you are currently engaged with this video and appreciate the insights being shared, kindly indicate your presence by commenting with the number 2 below. Additionally, if you have not yet subscribed, I strongly encourage you to do so and activate the notification bell to ensure you remain updated with future content. Your support enables us to persist in producing valuable content that informs and inspires you. Now, let us proceed to the third point. Withdrawing from social interactions after the age of 70. It is not uncommon to find oneself gradually withdrawing from social interactions without full awareness of the process. You may notice a decline in your outings, an increase in canceled plans, or a tendency to rationalize that remaining at home is simply more convenient. This behavior can stem from various factors, including physical constraints or emotional challenges. You might feel as though your contributions have diminished, or perhaps the frequency of outreach from others has decreased, leading to a subtle retreat into solitude. While you reassure yourself that enjoying solitude is acceptable, the reality is that a lack of social interaction can have more detrimental effects on your health than you might realize. Loneliness is not merely an emotion, it poses a significant risk to one's health. Research indicates that social isolation among older adults may result in depression, cognitive function reduction, and an increased likelihood of cardiovascular conditions. The brain flourishes through connection, and when that consistent interaction with others is absent, your mind tends to retreat inward, often leading to unproductive patterns. Engaging in conversations, sharing laughter, or even a brief phone call serves as mental stimulation, helping to maintain sharpness, grounding, and emotional stability. Most crucially, these interactions reinforce your sense of worth and significance. Sylvia, at the age of 80, gradually withdrew from her social circle following the loss of her husband. She convinced herself that she required time to grieve, yet what began as a temporary retreat extended into years. Her recollections became increasingly unclear. Her days began to merge into one another, and her motivation waned. Her daughter suggested she join a weekly senior yoga class simply to have an activity. Initially, Sylvia was reluctant, but she decided to attend. What surprised her was not the physical exercise, but the camaraderie among the participants, sharing a laugh before class and discussing their weeks afterward. It revitalized her life in ways she hadn't recognized she was missing. Engaging in social activities doesn't necessitate overwhelming yourself with numerous clubs or loud gatherings. Instead, focus on subtle methods to maintain connections, such as a weekly phone call, a stroll with a neighbor, participation in a church group, or joining an online hobby community. These small interactions serve as essential nourishment for your emotional well-being, reinforcing the notion that you are not isolated during this phase of life. The stronger your connections, the more robust your mental and physical resilience will be. The challenging aspect is that withdrawing can often seem comforting. It's calm and familiar. However, there's a distinction between appreciating solitude and being in isolation. One revitalizes you while the other gradually depletes your energy. You possess a wealth of insight, kindness, and humor to offer, and others gain from your presence in their lives even if you may not recognize it. By reaching out, you're not only aiding yourself but also reassuring someone else that they are not alone. Additionally, overlooking minor health symptoms can be detrimental. One of the most concerning practices that may develop after the age of 70 is the tendency to dismiss minor health symptoms as they may appear trivial or familiar. A slight feeling of dizziness now and then, perhaps a touch of tightness in the chest, or just an unusual wave of fatigue in the afternoon, it's easy to dismiss these as mere signs of aging. You might think it's best not to overreact, to avoid being a nuisance, and frankly, the thought of waiting in a doctor's office can be exhausting. However, overlooking these subtle signals can lead to significant consequences, particularly as one ages, where timely intervention can be crucial in distinguishing between a simple remedy and a more serious condition. The body tends to become more susceptible over time. As one ages, the body often becomes more expressive provided you are attentive. Symptoms that were once easily dismissed may now carry greater significance. That minor swelling in your ankles could indicate a need for cardiac evaluation, while occasional confusion may not merely be a fleeting lapse but rather a warning sign. Delaying attention to these issues can complicate treatment, reversal, or management. Being proactive doesn't signify weakness, rather, it reflects wisdom and control, both of which are invaluable. Allow me to recount the experience of Walter, a 78-year-old who always prided himself on his toughness. He was reluctant to seek medical advice and often dismissed concerns unless he was in significant discomfort. However, he began to notice that his vision was becoming increasingly blurred, accompanied by an unusual tingling in his feet. He attributed these changes to aging. It wasn't until his daughter urged him to seek medical attention that he discovered he was in the early stages of diabetes. Thanks to his timely decision, he was able to manage his condition through diet and exercise. His healthcare provider made it clear that had he delayed any longer, the consequences could have been irreversible. You are the best judge of your own health. When something feels off or unusual, it is entirely justified to seek clarification, not out of weakness, but out of a sense of responsibility towards your well-being. They do not always come with loud sirens and bright lights. Instead, they often communicate softly. As we age, it becomes increasingly crucial to heed those subtle messages. Prompt responses may lead to reduced recovery durations, reduced medications, and an improved overall result. This also entails trusting your instincts. If you feel overlooked or unheard by a healthcare professional, you have every right to ask questions, seek second opinions, and advocate for your own well-being. You have dedicated a lifetime to caring for others. Now it's time to direct that same attention to yourself. No one else inhabits your body or understands how it feels from within. Therefore, if something seems off, don't hesitate to voice your concerns. If you're still watching this video and find these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're present. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Your support enables us to keep producing valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's continue. Relying on memory instead of documenting important information can become a significant issue as one ages. It is a common yet often overlooked habit to trust your memory more than is advisable. You may have successfully remembered birthdays, appointments, and medication schedules throughout your life, leading you to continue this practice. However, it is essential to recognize that this approach may not be as effective as it once was. As you mentally review the day's agenda, reminding yourself to make that important call later or attempting to manage your medications without any written notes, it's essential to recognize the subtle risks involved. Memory may not function with the same reliability as it once did, and relying solely on it without additional support can result in minor oversights that carry significant repercussions. Neglecting an appointment is one matter, but losing track of whether you've taken your medication is a different issue altogether, and it's more common than many acknowledge. You could inadvertently take an extra dose or miss one entirely, believing you had already taken it. That brief moment of doubt can escalate into significant health concerns, particularly with medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or pain management. However, it's important to recognize the reality of the situation. Documenting information is not indicative of a decline, rather, it reflects a commitment to responsibility. It serves as a means to safeguard your future and alleviate present stress. Allow me to introduce you to Bill, a 73-year-old who has consistently taken pride in his mental acuity. He managed he tracked all the birthdays effortlessly and never relied on a calendar. However, after missing a specialist appointment and unintentionally skipping his morning dose twice in 1 week, he recognized a shift. Initially, he felt a sense of embarrassment as if he were confessing to a flaw. Yet, after implementing a straightforward notebook system and setting phone alarms, he discovered that he wasn't just recalling more, he was also experiencing less anxiety. He remarked that it felt as though he had alleviated some of the burdens he had been silently shouldering for years. Our minds are engaged in far more than we often acknowledge, and after decades of life experience, it's entirely normal for short-term memory to decline. This doesn't signify failure, rather, it indicates that your system requires assistance. Writing things down, maintaining a calendar on the fridge, utilizing a pill organizer, or establishing a few simple reminders on your phone can be beneficial. It's not merely a matter of forgetfulness, it's about establishing a foundation for success, ensuring that every detail is accounted for and nothing is left to chance. Many individuals find it quite liberating to externalize their thoughts, transferring them from their minds to a tangible format that can be seen. It alleviates mental clutter, diminishes anxiety, and fosters self-assurance. Cease the habit of second-guessing yourself and refrain from endlessly revisiting the same mental checklists. Instead, place your trust in the systems you have established, allowing your mind a chance to find some peace. Furthermore, consider the tendency to resist technology entirely, a common limitation among individuals over 70, often done unconsciously. This resistance may stem from feelings of being overwhelmed, past frustrations, or a belief that technology is not for you. You might find yourself saying things like, "I don't need all that, I'm too old to learn," or "I've managed just fine without it." While these sentiments may seem valid at the time, they subtly create a barrier between you and the tools that could genuinely simplify your life. Utilizing safer and more connected technology does not necessitate immersing oneself in social media or acquiring every latest device available. It can be as straightforward as mastering the art of sending a text, employing a voice assistant to establish reminders, or accessing your health records online. These schools are not merely trends, they serve as essential lifelines, assisting you in managing your medications. Maintaining connections with loved ones, seeking assistance during emergencies, and obtaining information swiftly are essential. By choosing not to engage with these resources, you are not alleviating stress, rather, you are heightening your reliance on others. Allow me to share the story of Louise, a 79-year-old woman who frequently reached out to her daughter whenever she needed assistance with appointment times or prescription refills. Her daughter was always there to help, but Louise began to feel increasingly reliant on her. One day, her grandson took the time to demonstrate how to use the calendar and reminders app on her phone, as well as how to access her pharmacy's website for refills. Initially, it presented challenges with uncertainties and moments of hesitation. However, after several weeks, she discovered her ability to manage tasks independently that once necessitated multiple phone calls. This experience brought forth a sense of capability that had been absent for quite some time. Ultimately, this journey is not merely about mastering new technology, but rather about regaining one's autonomy. Minor advancements in technology can accumulate rapidly. Assessing the meteorological data and reviewing communications, engaging with health alerts, or participating in a virtual class can serve as gentle reminders of your ability to adapt, grow, and maintain connections with your surroundings. There's no requirement to be a technology expert. A spark of curiosity and a patient guide are all you need. If you've ever felt a sense of shame or embarrassment for not being familiar with something, it's important to release that feeling. Everyone begins their journey at a different point, and no one anticipates that you will know everything immediately. What truly matters is allowing yourself the opportunity to explore. Technology should not be viewed as an adversary to aging. Rather, it is a valuable ally. The more receptive you are to it, the more opportunities you create for yourself. If you are still engaged with this video and find these insights beneficial, please comment number 6 below to indicate your presence, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to subscribe and activate notifications to ensure you don't overlook any videos. Your support is vital for us to keep producing valuable content that informs and inspires you. Now, let's proceed with the concluding thoughts. As we conclude this video, I encourage you to take a moment of introspection regarding the topics we've discussed. Which of these habits do you see in yourself? Which ones caught you off guard? After 70, the dynamics of life evolve, yet no one provides a new guide. This is why it can be so tempting to cling to familiar patterns that may seem secure but gradually undermine your well-being, autonomy, and tranquility. However, it's important to remember that it's never too late to change your course. There is no need to completely transform your life in an instant. Simply acknowledging these 6 pitfalls and being open to taking one small step away from them can lead to greater clarity, increased energy, and enhanced confidence. Whether it's incorporating a bit more movement into your daily routine, adjusting your meals to better suit your needs, or seeking assistance with that new phone, small changes can make a significant difference. You are not lagging. You are progressing with purpose. Growing older does not signify retreat. Rather, it signifies the opportunity to elevate oneself with the knowledge gained over the years, utilizing it to enhance the remainder of your life, making it more vibrant, resilient, and filled with joy. These habits may appear minor at first glance, yet each decision you make that prioritizes your well-being is a testament to your value, affirming that your time is significant and that the most rewarding aspects of your life are still in progress. We appreciate your presence today and encourage you to share your insights. Please leave a comment below detailing one takeaway from today and how you intend to incorporate it into your life. Your reflections are valuable, so feel free to express them. Your feedback provides us with significant motivation and encouragement. If you found this video enjoyable and helpful, we kindly ask you to like, subscribe, and share. Your support is vital for us to continue producing quality content that informs and inspires. Thank you for watching, and we eagerly anticipate your presence in our next video.